In March of 2019, 8-month-old baby Amiah Robertson vanished despite being surrounded by several adults. Witnesses claim to have last seen baby Amiah on Saturday, March 9th. Amiah's mother would not report her daughter missing until a week later.
I want you to know that we're here today because we're frustrated and quite frankly, angry. So we're telling you now that this is a homicide investigation, but it has been all week. Since early on, because things just didn't add up.
Baby Amiah Robertson. No one has seen this little girl since she disappeared earlier this year. It has been nearly 8 months since anyone last saw baby Amiah.
The search continues for clues about Amiah Robertson, the 8-month-old reported missing in March. Police said the case of the baby's disappearance had turned into a homicide investigation.
Amiah's mother claims her boyfriend, Robbie Lyons, drove Amiah to the babysitter's house on Holmes Avenue. Amber, Amiah's mother, claims later that evening Robbie returned to the hotel around 10 p.m. without Amiah.
That my daughter gets home safely and that she's alive and she's okay and that she's not being starved or beat. I'm scared to begin to know what's wrong with her or if anything is wrong with her. Hoping that I get news that she's been found or someone hopefully comes across that, you know, maybe if they have her and they're not recognizing that she's been reported missing and can get her home to me.
I know that you care. You just do not understand how dangerous some of these people are. Why are you so interested in the baby? You don't understand how dangerous they really are. You really don't. If you find this baby, what are you going to do? What do you think these people are going to do to you? They will hurt you. They'll come after you. There's definitely people you do not want to piss off. They will watch you for months. They will watch your family. They will hurt you. That they're very dangerous people. They're very dangerous.
My brothers and I have traveled to Indianapolis, Indiana, to meet with CC Hatton, who has been desperately searching for baby Amiah.
The mom did not report the baby missing for 1 whole week. The boyfriend is the one that she gave the baby to. His name's Robbie Lyons. Her name is Amber Robertson. Baby's name is Amiah Robertson. She was 8 months old when she went missing. She was about 16 pounds at the time of her disappearance. She had dark hair. She wasn't specifically a healthy baby. I believe at the time of her disappearance she was teething. There's been a lot of rumors surrounding that. They put heroin on her gums just to calm her down. She pretty much went through a hard life in her 8 months. She was not very well taken care of, we do know that. There was an open CPS case when she went missing.
A statewide search that is underway for missing 8-month-old Amiah Robertson.
Right now, police are trying to figure out when her loved ones last saw her and where she could be right now. Babysitter's home, that's where police today are searching for answers.
People were doing searches for the baby. They kind of backed off. It didn't last very long for them. The mother's not very cooperative with the investigation. She's told many lies. I became friends with her after this story came out.
I can only imagine she's probably scared right now.
Amber Robertson wiped away tears while talking about her 8-month-old daughter, Amiah, who she reported missing March 16th.
You're not seeing me cry on the news, and it's because I can't cry, and I'm trying to hold my emotions so that I can say this as I want. I'm just a lot angry right now. I'm built up and full of anger, and that's why I can't cry, guys. I physically have cried so much, it feels like I can't just keep going on. And inside, I'm hurting so bad. It's like my heart is shattered, and I can't find out how to re-put my heart back together because my daughter isn't here. If my daughter can come home with me, my heart can go back into one piece.
She just told me, one story here that happened to Amiah, then she told me something different. Then I would ask her questions at another time, and then she would change her story again.
I just hope that everyone out there that's helping me watch can continue to pray and can continue to help me find my child.
So I started really doubting, that she doesn't know what's going on. And we started fighting about the whole case. I can't specifically say on camera what she told me, but it clarified for me that the mom does know where the baby is. She just won't come clean with it. We know that the babysitter is involved. Her name is that is where Robbie Lyons had been staying. He was homeless. He had been living in either the shed in her backyard or the garage. They were staying in a local hotel here on the west side of Indy. That's where the baby actually came up missing from. There was a story that the babysitter was supposed to keep the baby that night. We're still searching for the baby. We've done events for her. We've done multiple searches, Holly can tell you. We've dug, we've done all kinds of things. We've been to 1907 where the baby's belongings were once found. Then the police conducted searches down there. They had drones, they had dogs.
The items that were found on the bank have been identified as belonging to Amiah.
She's still just missing, and nobody can, come up with the baby. Nobody's been in jail.
So the day the baby went missing, what all happened?
Robbie for sure had the baby. He took from the hotel back to South Holmes Avenue on 229 over here, and it was seen on a neighbor's camera. He got out of the car a couple of times and got in the back seat, but Amiah was not seen back there. It took them literally almost 2 hours to get from that hotel, which is 15 minutes from here, to her house. Seen walking in her house. Nobody was seen with the baby. So from that hotel up until the time they got over there, nobody really knows what happened. The police have questioned them, but we don't know what was said. He had been in the Mickley, Rockville area, which is not far from that hotel. He had been there for many hours after he dropped them off. He did not return back there until about 10 o'clock that night without the baby.
Amiah Robertson was last seen alive and well with Robert Lyons in the 200 block of South Holmes. Robert Lyons was driving in 1996 Isuzu Rodeo, maroon in color. It is in poor condition. Robert Lyons stayed on the southwest side of Indianapolis until 10 o'clock p.m. when he returned back to the mother, Amber Robertson, alone without Amiah.
Robert took what he knew meant the most to me, and that was one of my children. You could have took anything you wanted. You could have done anything you wanted. Don't take my children. And when you took my children, that made you a piece of shit in my book. And I will never forgive him as long as I live.
And Amber was saying she thought the baby was okay. She was supposed to go to the babysitters to spend the night. They did not get over to her house until about 1:15. It was seen on camera.
On March 9th, he was in the area of Rockville Road and Mickley Avenue for an extended period of time. So if you live in that area, I would ask that you try to remember if you saw anything suspicious, if you saw Robert or Amiah or this truck.
I've actually been to the apartments at Mickley and Rockville, and I counted the first time I went there to count the dumpsters, there were 19. There's a good possibility she could have been put in the dumpsters. If she went to the landfill, we don't know. They never searched the landfill. They empty those dumpsters 3 times a week. I'm just beyond myself with that one. I don't understand. There's a baby missing. Why would you not check the landfill? Some of our trash goes to the landfill, some of it goes to the incinerator.
On Wednesday, March 20th, Robbie Lyons was spotted on surveillance video parked behind some buildings. Even with this video footage, it is unclear to see exactly what Robbie is doing at this time.
There's also possibility she was dumped down here in 1907, but that's where they found her stuff. Her mom found this stuff. It was just too convenient. And some people that saw it said it looked like that it had been planted there. Because Robbie, the last one that was seen with Amiah, he got out of jail probably an hour, maybe, if even that, when the stuff was found. So there's no way he had time to put the stuff there. She was tossed in this water here. She was buried over there. We've been digging for quite a long time over there. We could show you where we've been digging. Or she was put in the dumpsters. Those are the 3 possibilities that we came up with.
As far as law enforcement, where all did they search and what did they come up with?
They've searched 1907 at least twice. With drone, like I said, with dogs.
In the water.
In the water, yes. They just did a search again in October, I want to say. It was before Christmas. But we don't know why. We don't know if they got a tip. We don't know what set them off to go back down there. They've searched the babysitter's house 3 times that we know of. Extensively searched. They do have some evidence that was in there, in that garage, that points to Amiah. She is on a homicide list. She's been on that list since 3/23 of 2019. In Indiana, they don't put people on a homicide list unless they have some type of evidence pointing in that direction. They dug up the backyard over there in their last search at the babysitter's, believing that the baby was there. They got some kind of tip. I mean, it was extensive. So that was the last time they searched there. She got pregnant a month after her baby went missing. A month after. And she just gave birth to that little baby 3 weeks ago. It's a boy. My theory on it is that she died a horrible death, whatever happened to her, due to evidence that's been found. I can't really state on camera what that evidence was, but I'm just saying it wasn't pleasant, whatever happened to her. It's really sad. Like I said, she was either placed in the water down here, she was buried, or she was put in the dumpsters. I don't believe she went far. People just won't talk, they won't say anything, and we're frustrated, and we want answers. We want updates from law enforcement. They will not allow other people, other sources to come in with dogs. We've asked, they won't allow that. We just want some help. We want the baby found, and we're not getting that. So I'm to the point, I don't care, I just want answers. It's been an emotional thing for all of us. It's not fun out here doing this, knowing that you're looking for a baby that you're going to bring home in a casket. That's not a pleasant thought. She was feeding Amiah coffee creamer and water because she didn't have formula. You can't do that with a baby. Any mother should know that. You cannot do that. So, just the character of the people that she was surrounding herself with, they're not good people. Is known for drug dealing, drugs, cartel, kind of stuff like that. Not the kind of people a normal mom would surround herself with her children, put them in that kind of environment. None of this has gotten us anywhere. None of this we haven't gotten any answers. We're frustrated. Law enforcement will give us no more updates. The very last time we have gotten any updates on Amiah was April the 30th from when they did the last search, dug the backyard. I've watched your shows, watched ID channel, all that stuff, but we're not professional. We don't really, I can't go out here and tell you, oh yeah, well that's the proper way to do that, because I don't know that. We're just doing what we can to try to bring Amiah home, and that's it. And that's what we care about. 1907 is a huge area.
Yes, it is.
But we've torn almost all of 1907 up. But if she's buried there, I mean, we haven't found her. We've been trying to get outside people to come and help. We're at a standstill until, the weather's warming up. We can go back out and we conduct searches again. But it's always nice to have some outside resources to come and help us. This is little Chicago, Indy, because there's a murder here every single week. Like, there's been, 4 or 5 murders just this week. And that's common here. We're used to it. We need something big. So I thought, well, maybe they can really help us if they, will reach back out to me. And I was really excited about it. And I thought, this could be an actual way to find Amiah, because I'm not disbelieving. Like, if there's somebody out here that can help us, I'm all for it. So I trusted and I believed, and you guys reached back out to me, and I was just so happy about it. And I honestly think maybe something can come of it. So that's how actually I got in touch with you guys. That's what I think, and that's what I believe, that you all could possibly help us, or you wouldn't be here, obviously.
So you didn't know Maya going into this?
Nope.
You've never met Amiah?
No.
I mean, why do you care so much?
It's so real to me that this baby lived a horrible life, and now she's out here somewhere and nobody knows where she is, and it's just so surreal to me. And I know this poor little baby is out here, laying out here in the ground somewhere, or in the dumpster, or just the way her life ended. It's horrible. That's why I care so much, because I'm a mom myself. How could any mom not care? Like, her mom didn't even want her, honestly. Here we are a year later, and the baby's still missing, and there's people out here walking free. Killers are walking free, and that don't set well with me. If it were my child, I would want everybody out here doing everything under the sun they could to help me. Amber doesn't care.
I think what we need to do is just, let's run over there and take a look at the place. You know, we'll run a couple SpiritBox sessions down there, and then we'll have Rocky run a remote session back at our home base and just see what we get.
Okay. We want to thank you guys for coming here. Oh, yeah, definitely. Seriously, because you guys have no idea.
Even though police conducted several searches for Amiah along 1907, we decided to start our SpiritBox session in this area because Amiah's belongings were found along Eagle Creek.
When the baby's stuff was found, when the police were called to search down here, the baby's stuff was found up here on this hill. There was a diaper tied around one of the limbs of this tree. For why, we don't know. The guy that was last seen with her was actually a meth addict. He had probably been up for days and out of his mind. But all of this stuff was found right here. The car seat of Amiah. There was a headrest from the guy's old rodeo that he was driving. There was clothing of the baby. There was some other things found down here, right up here. And that's what brought them to this area to search.
Okay, let's have a look and see.
So,
what's down there?
That is where homeless people like to stay, and it leads you down to the water. This is the water that they've searched in for the baby. But this is a big possibility that baby could have been here.
So he was probably familiar with this area.
Absolutely. He's from the west side of Indianapolis. So
they had walked into the water, the police did, and I think they were over here in this area looking in the water. So that was the last time that they had done a search here.
But they never gave reason as to why they were here. I'm assuming it was over some kind of a tip that they received. Right. Otherwise, I don't see them coming down here and using the resources that they did.
We're attempting to communicate with any spirits that may know what happened to Amiah Robertson from Indianapolis, Indiana. Can you hear us, yes or no? Can you tell me, is Amiah dead? Who killed Amiah? Who killed Amiah? Did Robbie Lyons have anything to do with the disappearance of Amiah? Did Amber have anything to do with the disappearance of Amiah? Did you hear that? Was Amiah's body brought out to this area, yes or no? Is Amiah's body on land? And another thing is, if we run the SpiritBox session here and we're just not picking up anything, then what that tells us is this probably isn't a very good area. Because like with spirits, you know, with the energy and stuff like that they put off, the closer you get to where something tragic took place or where she may have been murdered or dumped, it's like that energy has imprinted itself and you just get a stronger connection. And it's possible that this place just has nothing to do with it. Can you tell me, is Amiah Robertson's body in this area, yes or no? Where was her body taken to? Are we on the right side of town? Did have anything to do with the disappearance of Amiah? Does Amiah's mother, Amber, know where Amiah is? What is Amiah's body near?
You're helping pay for me.
Well, there's a voice coming through, but it's like lower. A lot of times those real loud voices that are coming across are radio signals, so we try not to pay attention to those. It's the lighter voices. Normally when you get to an area, it just feels creepy, and this place just doesn't feel creepy, I don't think. You guys?
I had a feeling at one time she was here, and then I don't know, something keeps taking me back that direction to that house that's been burned down. It's right up the street.
Can we go to it?
Oh, absolutely.
With no solid responses linking Amiah to this area, we decide to move closer to the babysitter's house along Holmes Avenue.
And I'm gonna try to see if I can talk to maybe a spirit to see if they can help us find Amiah. Does somebody know where Amiah's body is around here? Am I close to Amiah's body? Is Amiah's body in the basement of the house that got burnt? Is Amiah's body in the house that caught fire? Is Amiah's body in the house that caught fire?
Several rumors have been circulating around town on Amiah's case. One rumor claims that Amiah was mauled to death by the babysitter's dog, and that Amiah's body was placed in the basement of an abandoned home before the house was set on fire.
Are we close to Amiah's body? Is Amiah's body near me? Is Amiah's body in this house? Amiah's mom put her in this house? Is her body in the basement? If I go in that house, will I find Amiah's body? This house has been searched. Do I need to go somewhere else? Is her body wrapped up?
We've been back from Indianapolis for a couple days now. We're working on the case for missing 8-month-old baby Amiah Robertson out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Very sad and tragic case. You know, anytime you're dealing with a missing child, especially a child this young at 8 months old, you know, they're 100% dependent on their parents. And we ran multiple SpiritBox sessions. One was up by Eagle Creek where Amiah's belongings were found. And then we ran another SpiritBox session down around the babysitter's house where we know Robert Lyons was living and had Amiah at the time. A lot of times you hear things and you think you hear one thing and you come back, you analyze it in a controlled environment like this, and it's completely different than what you thought you heard. When we want to give information to law enforcement or go back with the canine team and search, it's important for us to be 100% sure, you know, what we heard is exactly what we heard. Being back at the river and running the SpiritBox sessions, to me it just didn't feel like that was the right area. Once we got close to the babysitter's house and that part of town, you just got a creepier feeling. So going over everything, I didn't get anything pointing us to the river. Everything was leading us back down towards Holmes Avenue. From what I've gotten so far, Holmes Avenue seems to be the best location. So I think what we want to do is get back up to Indianapolis and run a SpiritBox session there on Holmes Avenue and have a look around. Also, fence and bushes were coming across very strong. It appears that Amiah may have been wrapped in something. So if we can get out there, run a SpiritBox session, and then hopefully lock down that area down by the babysitter's house, Robbie's name came over multiple times. We never did get, Amber's name. We never got the babysitter's name. Not that they didn't have anything to do with it, but just as far as the SpiritBox session, Robbie's is the only name that came across. The only thing that leads me to believe that Amber may have known something going into this is the amount of time Amiah was missing before anybody reported her missing. I think the last time they seen her was March 9th, 2019, and then she wasn't reported until March 16th, 2019, so that's, 7 days later. So I'm going to continue to go over all the audio evidence. I asked Rocky to do a remote session as well, and hopefully between the sessions we ran there in Indianapolis and the remote session, we get things that match up and lead us to one specific location. I think it's important for us right now to get back to Indianapolis and run a couple SpiritBox sessions down along Holmes Avenue and then do some searches along fenced areas. Anyhow, I'm going to finish going over this stuff and hopefully lock down an area that we feel comfortable with bringing in the K-9 team. I think with this case, more than any other case we've ever worked on, with Amiah being so little, you're definitely going to need cadaver dogs to hit on a specific area. But I just want to feel comfortable and be, at least 80-90% solid that this is the right area. We have reached out to Amber, we reached out to Robbie, we reached out to the babysitter, and as of now, nobody is getting back with us. I'm going to get back to going over evidence, and
we're attempting to communicate with any spirits that may know what happened to Amiah Robertson from Indianapolis, Indiana. Can you hear us, yes or no? Can you tell me, is Amiah dead? Who killed Amiah? Who killed Amiah?
Right there, it comes over Robbie, plain as day, and this happens multiple times. So it's not like Robbie's name just came over once. His name comes over again and again and again. And that's what we look for, is things that are more repetitive. So if we run multiple SpiritBox sessions in multiple different areas to try to lock down a specific location, and we're getting the exact same responses, that helps validate to us that that information is correct. And then if you add on Rocky's remote SpiritBox session on top of that, and he's getting the same information from 150 miles away, that even goes further to help validate that that information is correct and the best information we have. I'll continue going over all this stuff and hopefully get some more leads as to what happened to baby Amiah.
Did Robbie Lyons have anything to do with the disappearance of Amiah?
Here I'm getting ready to run a SpiritBox session for Amiah Robertson. She went missing out of Indianapolis. It's a little baby girl. Is Amiah dead or alive? Is Amiah dead or alive? Can you tell me who killed Amiah? Can you tell me who killed Amiah? Can you tell me what Amiah's body's by? Is Amiah's body by the house that her mom lived in? Is Amiah's body in the house that burnt? Is Amiah's body above ground? Can you see what's close to Amiah's body? What's close to Amiah's body? Can you give me a name of a road that's close to Amiah's body? Did they wrap Amiah's body up? Where'd they place her body after they wrapped it? Is Amiah's body buried in somebody's backyard? Is Amiah's body by railroad tracks? Whatever's close to Amiah's body, what's near, I can see. Can you give me a name of a road that's by Amaya's body? Is Amaya's body by the house that caught fire? Place Amaya's body. Give me a road name that's by Amaya's body. How did Amiah die? Did they burn Amaya's body?
Day 2 of the Amiah Robertson case. We're getting ready to load everything up and head back to Indianapolis. We've got the K9 team coming in. We're going to search a few areas that came across the spirit box, and hopefully today we'll uncover some leads as far as what happened to Amiah. Very sketchy neighborhood, so it's good when you're going out to do the searches to have multiple people with you just in case something was to happen.
From there, after we clear that, then we'll head to the second spot. Is there any other places
there was another area on the other side of the tracks here. South Holmes comes down here a little bit further.
Yeah.
And there's another wooded area that might be worth checking out.
The church is right there.
Yeah. This right here is South Holmes as well.
Okay.
And there's a fence that runs along here.
Okay. I'll head up this place first, and then just go down Fourman Avenue until we go over here.
Okay.
Hit that, and then while we're over there, we'll just go back up. And
we'll roll over there. If there's any issues, like I said, just let us handle it.
I kissed the baby and he left. Never ever seen her again. But Amber was in my house all week long. She never said, "Where's my baby?" Nothing. Last place it was seen was in his truck with him.
So the baby was in the car?
Yes, the baby was in the car. Why don't you raise holy hell when you think it's not there? She was there the whole week.
She was at your
house? At my house, in my house with me. That was the next weekend before she reported the baby gone. That whole week, from the Sunday to that Friday night, she was at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And tried to say I had that baby. She knows more than she's telling. I don't know what they've done. She knows a lot more.
Oh, I think she does too.
They trashed my house. They trashed it. And they trashed my good name. I told the police this. When I got to the hotel, she had a big old bruise on her face.
Mm-hmm.
And they said she rolled off the bed in the motel room.
So she was alive when she left the hotel?
Yes, she was alive when she left my house. Because the baby never cried. She was 8 months old. She couldn't even sit up by herself. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Up a little bit first, and then just check behind it, check both sides.
I wish we could get inside there, but
yeah, they took care of that, didn't they?
Yeah. Although a few dogs wanted to enter the fenced-in area, we could not access this area because it is private property. After tracking down the owner of the fenced area, we wanted to reach out and see if he would give us permission to search his property.
Yeah,
Yes, I am looking for the owner of like a salvage yard off of South Holmes Avenue. A fenced-in area with some trailers and things like that in there.
What do you need?
I am with a search and rescue team. We have been searching for the little baby that went missing last year. We had a tip that there possibly was something in there. So we just wanted to see if we could like go in and just look around.
I talked to the chief of police.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not with the police department, you don't have anything to do with it.
We have permission to search. That's not the issue.
Well, anybody has a permission to search.
Are you the owner of the property?
Yes, I am. You're searching in the wrong place. Police department has a knowledge where the baby is. You just got to find the right person. They're not going to give you anything. You got all the right to search. This is the land of the free.
Right? But it's your property. That's why I'm asking you.
No. And the police chief told me that if he's not involved with it, do not. Get it together. It's nothing to do with it. It's just the You can't just let anybody in it.
You don't want us on your property. That's all I needed to know. It doesn't matter who it is.
If the chief of police, no problem.
Okay, well, you gave me your answer. That's all I need
Okay.
to know. You don't want us there. Thank you. Have a good day.
Unfortunately, without the owner's permission, we are unable to search the property. The detective working Amiah's case said without probable cause, they cannot issue a warrant and search his property either.
You just contacted the guy over here that owns this railroad park area where they house old cars, and they wouldn't give us any permission to go search the property unless we had a search warrant. So we're going to scratch this area and we're going to head over to Eagles Creek.
We would also spend several hours searching 1907, where some of Amiah's belongings were found. This area would produce no positive results as to what happened to Amiah the day she went missing.